Okay, so for today's Tanya, we're going to learn that the Alter Rebbe goes on to ask a unbelievable question, which is very much necessary for all of us. If we're not going to be able to get rid of our, evil inclination inside us, the desires to indulge in the pleasure of the physicality to the extent to have nothing to do with the divine life force that is keeping everything going, then what's the point of it all? If we're never going to be able to eradicate this from us, what's the point of living our life? The people that were given the task of a Beinoni in this lifetime, what exactly is the purpose? What's the point? To constantly struggle for the rest of our life? Is that the plan? So today's Tanya, the Alter Rebbe really gets into it and says that he's going to give a lot of light to this question. He says like this, we're going to read it inside. So let us get involved and understand with a better understanding of this word that it says, he started off the book of Tanya, we're up to the 35th chapter, but he started off saying that this entire 53 chapters is going to come to explain that it's very close to us in our heart, in your mouth, and in your heart, to do it. So now let's understand the word to do it. She said like this, let's understand a little more from the purpose of the neshamas that came to this world to be as a Beinoni, to be as the intermediate, which we explain the intermediate is someone who is shalom, is complete in his actions, thoughts, and speech, but this desire that comes up to his head, the thoughts, the invoking intrusive thoughts that are constantly coming to his head today, which people are medicating for with the term OCD, and Tanya, the term is Beinoni, that we have constant intrusive thoughts that we need to be abstaining from and trying to redirect and return the thought to be of good essence. So these people are the Beinonis. Okay. They're coming down to this world, to include themselves in the animalistic soul from the klipa. Because for their life, all their days, they're not going to be able to completely eradicate, to not have tendencies and instincts and impulses to do and to think not good. He's not going to be able to eradicate it, to not have these thoughts. Because the essence, the resource of life of the Nefesh Bahamas and the Klipa is strong throughout his lifetime, just like he was when he was in his young age. Just he's through a lot of toil and work, he's come to the fact that his garments, his thoughts, speech, and action can be clean throughout the day. Why did these souls come into this world? To fight all their days with the Yetzer and not be able to completely vanquish it. Let this forthcoming explanation out there, it says, be a comfort, beautiful language, be a comfort. That Nachman can fly to simply gladden their hearts. To give simcha to the hearts of people like me and you, people that struggle with the constant struggle of life. To be able to live in joy with the God that is with them through their Torah and Avodah. He says, well, understand this with the pasuk. It says in Perek Yavis that who's a wise man, his eyes are always in his head. So literally, I think it means that he always is looking. Foreseeing, planning, foreseeing the future, how things are going to turn out in the future. But in Chassidus, it's in Kabbalah, he understands it. The Zohar says, the Zohar right away asks, where else is a person's eyes? Eyes are on the head. So what's this pasuk? Right? The Tanan, lo yahach bar nash biglu de reisha arba amitz, my time in the Shechin Teshaya. So he says, let us understand this. Rather, he's saying that the Shechina is present in a person's head, right? Which is why we cover our head, because we always want to be in constant conscious correlation with our mind, understanding that, not our mind, with our conscious of the fact that the Shechina is resting above us. So we were had to keep our inav b'reisha. That's how he explains it. Right? And therefore every chacham, every wise man, his eyes are always, right? Like his kippah, always taking note of the fact that his Shechina is above him, on his head. Now, when his eyes, his interests, his concerns are kindled on his head, requires oil. Right now, we're saying that there's the light of the Shekhinah on our head that requires oil in order for it to not extinguish. So that is a man's body is the wick, but we need the oil to kindle it. So he says here, good deeds are the oil which supplies the light for the wick to kindle. So that's what he says. And for this reason, he says the wise man, he always is ensuring that his oil is not lacking. He's always remembering he has a wick on his head, the Shekhinah on his head. So somehow through this, we're not going to get to it yet. Through this, we're going to understand. Through this understanding of the Chacham Eina B'Reishis, we're going to be able to come back, hopefully tomorrow, the next day, in this chapter to understand what's the point of living as a Beinoni in this life. We're not going to be able to completely vanish our Yetzer Hara. So we started off to understand today this concept of Chacham Eina B'Reishis, that the Chacham, his focus is always on the wick on his head, the Shekhinah, which takes good deeds, and he's always trying to keep himself connected, keeping a fuel of oil there for the wick to flame up.